You didn't ask for it, but new merch is here. Check it out in the link down below. Shikari here, and finally I got around to watching Infinity Train Book 2, and I can say I liked it better than the first one. I know, controversial take, but it's what I do. Book 2 follows Mirror Tulip. She's the counterpart to our original main character, regular Tulip. The counterpart is known as MT for Mirror Tulip, or I guess Metal Tulip would work too, but it's the first one. Is it a rocker? Is it a lesbian? No, it's Mirror Tulip. After a quick wardrobe change, a couple of ear piercings, and a buzz cut, MT takes a look that's all her own. But why does her hair blow in the wind? I thought she was made of metal? Some questions we don't get answers to. Following the events of book 1, she's kind of become a passenger. She's exploring different carts, meeting new people, interacting with the weird beings, and generally just having a good time. I mean, when you live in a world with infinite possibilities, what could be more thrilling? Most people dislike sequels, but I actually prefer them. Now, I get where people are coming from. They're usually not as good as the first one, but I feel like a lot of it has to do with the initial excitement of it being new, of a new universe where the things you didn't know possible become possible in this universe. And that's a huge factor as to what makes the first movie or season of a series really gripping. But with sequels, you have nothing to hide behind but a good story and interesting characters. With the main character being someone we already pretty much know, not much time is spent on learning the background story of the MC, which leaves more opportunities to succeed or fail. MT sees 1-1, now back in command of the train and running things nicely. She heads off and ends up in a market where she's caught in a reflection. Now, waiting behind every reflection are these guys. I forgot their names, but they're the agents tasked with terminating any reflections that break mirror law, which MT has by escaping the mirror world. Despite her fresh new look, the mirror people still know it's her and attack. She gives them the old 1-2 invisible deer trick, a classic. After a few days of playing with the superpowered deer, MT runs into this guy, Jesse. Super annoying and currently playing How to Pimp a Deer.
Travel friends brought together by the sheer majesty of an incredible superpowered deer. No!
But he does give the deer the only real name that you ever need to remember from this series.
What's everyone's favorite name? That's it! Alan Dracula! Let's try it out. Hello, have you met my dear Alan Dracula?
Alan Dracula falls through a hole in the ground, forcing the other two to go after him. Below the surface of the Autumn Woods cart is a literal family tree.
Standing on the mighty Gillicuddy family tree.
This ain't no stinking Gillicuddy family tree. This is the Trundleshank family tree. Patooey.
The two sides of the family are in this eternal argument, blaming the other for whatever nonsense reasons they can think of. Convinced MT won't be staying with Jesse for long, she's kind of an ass to him. Despite his self-proclaimed loved by everyone personality, she's not buying into it. MT pushes past the family with brute force. A bit further down the tree, her and Jesse get into an argument. During this time, Jesse's shoes start to turn to wood and the branches around them start rising. MT's not very good at opening up and connecting to people. And so most of the arguments that start between them is pretty much her lashing out first and Jesse retaliating. After the argument, Jesse and MT decide to take different approaches to finding Alan Dracula. Jesse tries to sow discord between the family. How's that going?
You Gillicuddy quadruplets broke their milk bottles every morning. Think you could apologize? No!
While MT in the meantime runs into a couple of family members arguing again, she doesn't really care and doesn't try to fix anything. Not really helping anybody and just kind of just being his annoying self, they decide to just toss Jesse aside and he ends up falling where MT is, punching her way through some more branches. They blame each other for their failures instead of focusing on their own and how they can change. As they begin to argue again, once again the branches start to rise around them and Jesse's entire body now starts to get turned into wood. But they realize that by being nice to each other, the tree will leave them alone. So they do that, complimenting each other as they make their way to the bottom of the tree, but Alan Dracula is still nowhere to be found. After a brief moment of sadness, they look up and see Alan Dracula climbing his way up the tree. Essentially, this deer is like what shrooms would be like if it were a deer. On their way back up, MT agrees to help Jesse get his number down and get him off the train so she can have Alan Dracula all to herself. MT informs Jesse in order to do that, he'll need to learn things about himself, grow as a man and a human being. Because MT met Tulip that one time at that one place, she's an expert now. MT takes Jesse under her wing and they enter an unfinished map cart together, where they meet this thing that does this thing. The mini-map is directly connected to the world map, and as you complete the pieces, the world opens up. The cloud man known as Marcel puts Jesse down and they begin the search for the map pieces. The first piece is located at an X at the end of a dotted line. It seems way too easy, so MT makes it more extreme. Jesse makes it to the X finally, and there's no map piece. Psych, of course there's a map piece. It's actually right there in front of him. It's super easy. Takes the map piece, attaches it to the map, and the world gets bigger. MT takes a look at Jesse's hand and his number actually goes up. Thinking Jesse needs to work even harder, she pushes him forward. Basically, how your number goes down is when you're able to be honest with yourself and tell the truth. You can also learn this by helping other people, which also helps you learn things about yourself along the way. Alan Dracula finds another piece of the map and more of the world opens up again. And it kind of just goes like that for a bit. Jesse and MT sail to the next place and they have a little heart-to-heart. Turns out Jesse's a bit of a yes man, or rather he's a people pleaser. Opening this up and letting MT know about this actually drops his number down a little bit.
It's not much, but at this rate, we'll get you out of here in no time. I guess you need to talk more about sports or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
After another piece and still no exit door, MT thinks Marcel is pretty sus, and she's right. It turns out that Marcel has been lying this whole time just to keep them around. So Marcel's just kind of lonely. He just wants some friends to hang out with and talk to. I mean, he lives in this big cart all by himself, though there are these mermaid chicks. But anyways, basically, the man just wants some friends. And to be honest, loneliness can be a greater poison than poison itself. And for that, they kill him. No loner goes unpunished in this series. Discovering that Marcel was lying and is planning on trapping them in the cart forever, Jesse comes up with the idea to draw a door to complete the map. This changes the art style of the world and Marcel becomes the wind. Jesse's number drops, but what was once previously non-reflective water has turned reflective, and the mirror agents return. And I'm gonna end it right there. Like I said in the beginning, the book 1 was great. It's exciting, it's new, it was fantastic, but I really like book 2. I'm really a huge fan of world building and the expanding of worlds in that sense. So you get a lot more of that in this book, i.e. the mirror world, mirror law, the mirror agents, you know, MT's life, essentially. And that stuff was really interesting to me. The thing I did miss was Wan. He's obviously in the series. If you haven't seen it, if you have, obviously you know he's in the series. He's just not in it as much. And that bipolar comedy, for lack of a better word, is hilarious. Still there, but I missed him the most. Other than that, great series. Let me know which one you like the most. Book 3, maybe? Is that one the best one? I haven't gotten to it yet. I should be starting that tomorrow, so that'll probably be next week's video. Anyways, let me know what you think, guys, in the comments down below. Other than that, end card. You didn't ask for it, but new merch is here. Check it out in the link down below.
Hi there, Eric here. I see some of you have yet to subscribe. You see this face? This is the face of a starving African child. For as little as 1 subscription a day, you can save this poor child from starvation. Think about that while you watch another video. Thanks for watching.